Welcome to the realm of Millenia, be ye man, woman, child, a spirit creature, or a demon, be ye a native migrator, or maybe even an invader. Welcome to the realm, for I am your host, the MILLENIANmailmen, and we're here again for another episode of Guess I'm an E-author now, right? Because I'm writing and doing works and research and everything for the internet instead of putting it on printed paper through press and publishings, right? I'm self-posting through the internet and social medias, God forbid. So I guess I'm an e-author now. So pardon my voice and how terrible it sounds. I am getting sick again, apparently. But hey, welcome to the realm of Millenia, for I am your host, the MILLENIANmailmen, here today bringing you guys and gals another Guess I'm an E-author episode for the extended series, right? And talking about the style of writing, because people still have questions anytime I talk about it. So and every time I answer the question, it always comes out different, as it should. But they all effectively say the same thing. So I'm going to say the same thing, and as I reiterate, right? It's not necessarily that I don't like it, because I love movies, I love film and everything, and I even enjoy modern cinema and tropes, but I don't personally like writing them, right? There is the aspect of modern cultural literatures and cinema where you follow a protagonist from one point to another, have this coming of age moment. That's what it's called. Even if it's not just a matter of coming of age, it's so long as there's a change of character development from one point to another, it still falls under the banner of coming of age to a certain degree. And that's basically all any of the cinema is nowadays, right? Because there's more than one aspect to writing and writing styles, even when it comes to super powered individuals, when it comes to intelligent, there's always this coming of age aspect that has been drawn into the dirt, right? And how I would compare my writing, I still use that, of course, because coming of age is one of the most fundamental aspects of writing and character developments. So, of course, I use it. I use it a lot. I use it often as well. But in my writing, it's not like the foremost thing in your face, right? Because in people with the growing ADHD crisis, right? The attention spans are not there, yet they're still trying to focus on the coming of age aspect of one person and their growth throughout a whole movies or an entire series. It is becoming mind-numbing to a certain degree for a lot of audiences, and it's turning into an audience fatigue of sorts, where no matter how much you love cinema, love listening or reading a particular author or a particular style of work, like dynamic comics or Marvel universe, the stories to a certain degree can be jarring, where even if you love and enjoy it and you can't wait for the next thing, you can kind of guess what's going to come to happen next. You can more than likely guess a thing or two very generically, because there's no more subtlety to it after you've seen a few. If you've seen a few, you've seen it all, right? If you can simplify the basis of the plot, you can kind of expect what the next release is going to be like, start to finish, without getting into specifics. You might not know the names of these alternative characters and you might not know the event actually going to happen, but you know that you're going to be introduced to the main character He's going to find the big bad guy. He's going to win because contractually many organizations follow that. Hey, the hero will always win because we can't ever allow the bad guys to be winners. It's not something we allow, right? So you ultimately understand this is the point, this is the idea. And well, I have no problems with that. The understanding that that is going to be the whole film, that is the whole storyline, that is the plot, is kind of lost in the subtleties being appreciated as much as they once were when we didn't have so much CGI, right? Because what some people don't fully understand about a lot of technologies is that once you make technology that makes it convenient to do a particular thing, that defeats a lot of the nuances, those subtleties that force people to be a bit more creative and a bit better in other aspects, right? Special effects weren't everything back in the day, but special effects trained your mind to expect one thing so that you could be impressed by everything else. Because special effects weren't so good, the acting had to be better. Because special effects weren't so good, you had to consider camera angles a bit more to appreciate the moment and the perspectives that the director and the team were guiding your perspective into, right? And the same thing still applies when you're writing, because as an author, you have to be cognizant of what might your audience be expecting. What is the target demographic of what you're writing, and what might be the perception of people not even of your targeted demographic, right? Like, say I'm writing a book for horny teenage males, right? That is my target demographic. If I want this to be as successful as possible, I still have to consider the thoughts, opinions, and feelings of my non-targeted demographic, like overaged, disdainful, bitter women, right? If my target demographic is teenage, horny males, yet older generations are going to see it, be impressed by the cover, and then look at it and realize, oh, I don't really approve or like this much. I'm going to petition to get it banned. That might be a concern. That might be a realistic concern, right? So you still have to, or gosh forbid, even older, bitter women are going to be like, ooh, spicy, I like that. And now your book, which might have been targeted to a younger populace, actually, because they're a newer generation and they don't even understand all of those things, oh wow, my targeted demographic of young teenage males ended up being exclusively bought out, oversold by women above the age of 60, and then got recommended to women, middle-aged women who liked it, and then just random men in a different country because my book was banned in America. Oh, interesting. I was writing this to be an American exclusive, but apparently only men outside of America kind of like it, and women everywhere love it. Does that make me a bitch? Because I thought I would be appealing to men when I wrote this the way I did. No, I'm exclusively and most predominantly appealing to older women. I don't like the way they're selling this out. I don't, right? I digress though. But it is a matter of you have to be introspective, of cognizantly introspective of what you're writing and how you're writing it. And one thing I do believe is failed in recent years, from writing to cinema and big screens all over, is this aspect of storyline and plot being too stereotypical, where everything is the same, and trailers no longer being a question. From a trailer nowadays, you can garnish the whole story because no one likes surprises, which is BS. And plenty of people love a surprise, right? Pardon, my lip is coming apart. Plenty of people enjoy a surprise. My lip is dry and it's coming apart. That's going to annoy the hell out of me. Plenty of people enjoying like a surprise in the books and the stuff they're reading. Otherwise, why the hell would they read the book that they know everything about? What is this, math? This calculus, right? Even plenty of people read and reread history so they could be surprised on what they can find out, right? The only kinds of books that don't change and you reread just to get your intelligence up because you're stupid is math and numbers. Yep, the numbers on this page haven't changed. 5 times 5 is, answer the question, answer key on the back. And you got it wrong again. I'll ask you in 2 days from now during our next tutoring session. 5 times 5 is what? Hey, yo, mom and pops over there, give me my money. Give me my money. Your son is stupid. But he has potential. He truly does. And this kind of stuff you just said, tell him because you don't want to be fired. I like this tutoring gig, but this guy's just that stupid. The question is 5 times 5. It's the same problem. We're doing the exact same problem. You had time to practice and study. I just want you to show your work on this piece of paper. I'm really scared for how your exam is going to go, buddy, because if you can't answer the question after we've been through this for the whole month, God forbid they change one word on that exam. They're gonna God forbid they make it a worded exam instead of just equations. You're gonna be screwed up, dude. But again, I digress. Right? Nuances are important in writing. Very important in writing. And the way I write my novels, or at least the way I'm writing this novel, the Realm of Millenia series, is in the first person. It's a first person perspective, and I am willing to let you know in advance I'm going to be hopping from character to character because it's much less about personal character developments as much as it is revealing and telling about how important each character is to one another, the interconnectedness of it, right? Like you could say, oh gosh, getting sick, man. You could say I pull mild inspiration from movies and directors who made the films like Vantage Point. to this day, I loved the way they put that together. I think it was absolutely immaculate. It was amazingly done. The movie Vantage Point. Oh man, love that. Time and time again, trying to do that, right? But I don't do it like that at all, right? I fell in love with the concept of telling an event from more than one perspective, right? Instead of following like this main character, you get to see and understand things from the perspective of different people without ruining the concept of, wait, so what's going on? And trying to go back and forth, right? No, time is still linear. It's only going one way, right? Don't allow that to mix you up. Time's still linear. You're just going from character to character and getting their first person perspective, because no one is omniscient, right? You're not the all-seeing God viewing the narrative from everyone's perspective all at the same time. You're here, 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 and here, flip-flop back and forth, where the director and the acting crew is guiding you down this perspective. You're not omnisciently understanding of everything. No, you're in the moment with this character, and you know just as much or just as little as the character does. First person perspective, the most excess information you're gonna have is the mind and what in the character brain is thinking, right? That is the most omniscient you will ever be. This character is thinking about this, and they're trying to understand what the heck is going on, so they'll self-talk the same way a real person would self-talk, like, I'm not sure what I want for dinner. Let me think about what I want for dinner as this guy over here is screwing this up. The 5th time this week that he's screwing the things up over? Oh my gosh, he just did it again. Nope. Take me to a happy place. What's happy? Oh yeah, dinner. I just got this steak. It's a T-bone, or I could do a little butter basting. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And oh my gosh, how did everything get flipped over on its side? He's ruining everything, right? That is like the most excessive, right? Because I have the writing of this novel series in a first person perspective, rather than doing something like Harry Potter, where you follow the main character, but there are times when you get snippet reveals of what is happening on the other side of the campus of Hogwarts, right? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you extra. Either you're here in the moment present or you're not. You better figure out why we changed from one character to another, because I promise you that last other guy's probably dead. Right? That is not as important as you actually understanding how we got from one point to another. I really like certain aspects that have come recently, like through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, where I love the way they tied all the different movies a part of the Marvel into one another, where everyone comes together, and the big ending boss fight is everyone against the purple potato, as the internet has deemed him, the big purple potato. These characters follow their life, interact. These characters interact. These guys go about their own dealing, and in the end, the big final climax is everyone fighting the big purple potato and undoing all of the inevitable that he enacted, right? And it's great, truly great, right? But my perspective, and I would say the nuance niche that I decided to follow through while writing my Realm of Millenia series was, hey, I like this aspect of following different characters. I like the aspect that everyone gets to join in the boss fight. But at the same time, I want it to be a bit more realistic. And I want an outside perspective on that boss fight. All my guys are still going to participate in the boss fight, but it's going to be from the other perspective. Like during the big boss fight, if we got random assistance, like the car, I'm gonna use the Marvel Universe example, right? In the fight against Thanos, there were the portals opened up by Carmitage, and if you're watching the movie Endgame, you'll see the portals open up, everyone's participating, you got people from around the world, like, yes! The whole movie, you were following the perspective of effectively the main character, which is the main cast who are part of the Avengers. Avengers Assemble, Captain America, Bucky Barnes, you got Iron Man, and here we are ready to duke it out. This is the fight. We're doing our thing, right? Here on Earth, that's just how it is. No, Avengers 2. Yeah, no, I'm thinking of Avengers 2. Excuse me. I'm thinking about Endgame Part 2. I think so. Anywho's, right? So, the main narrative that a whole bunch of movies would do, like, hey, we have a build-up, we have the climax, and we settle down, right? We follow a main character, we get all the main assisting cast and everything, and we go about it like that. The way I change it up is like, nah, we can still have me writing in a way that allows us all to thoroughly enjoy this epic boss fight, but I'm going to write it from the opposite perspective, right? Instead of following the main cast of the Avengers, I'm going to follow the route from step by step, from character to character, how we got from these losers all the way up to the chain to where this random person who the audience hasn't seen before comes to be a part of this fight, like Captain Marvel. I am great with writing from that outsider's perspective, while I come to the understanding that a lot of other people do phenomenal with explaining things in the background. And, oh, this is this guy's backstory. This is how it goes. I'm like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like doing backstories. I don't like doing backstories like that. I find it a bit cheap, if you will. So, my way of going about it is like, nah, oh, that character has a backstory? I'm going to write it as if I am writing them as the main character, right? I'm going to describe this guy's life. I'm going to have him reflect on his life, share his life, and move the hell on. We're done with that guy. I'm going to have this guy share about his life, reflect on his life, and move the hell on. I am not going to focus my entire day of writing on trying to morph this character into a coming of age moment. Like, this is the big show. We're like, no, this is what we were made for. It's like, no. What does this guy do? He's a regular janitor. Cool. The whole way I write is like, why is he important? Right? You know what? Since we're talking about Marvel, I'd say the best way I can describe it to differentiate how my writing is to others is that other people write the main character, right? I write to explain why all of Stan Lee's character cameos are important. Right? So meanwhile, you guys are over here trying to figure out the logistics and how everything is prim, proper, and perfect to make Tony Stark do all these things within the span of your hour and 43-minute movie. Great. The story I write explains how interconnected and how it is that Stan Lee is here, in all over 30 movies, right? Because he cameos in 90% of his films. Excelsior, right? The way I write the backstory, the storyline, the plot for how all of those guys seem to somehow be in a position that gets them seen. My storyline, the way I write, is a way that makes this background character, all these background characters, be they all the same person, like Stan Lee cameoing as himself, doing all these things, or be it from the perspective that all these Stan Lee cameos are different people interacting with the main cast, right? I am the side plot, the side quest story writer legionnaire, okay? You'll never have someone who writes better side quest explanations than me. And I'm putting that onto an extremely mega evolved magnifying glass by doing this Realm of Millenia book series, because ultimately this is me putting all those together and making it all its own novel, where the biggest opportunity here is me saying, hey, here is a place. You got Marvel over there, you got DC over here, and right here is the Realm of Millenia. Here are a whole bunch of characters and cast. In the beginning, you'll have an event. At the end, you'll have an event, and I'll allude to a couple events in between. And if you like it, you guys can write a whole narrative storyline that you can make your own plot. Because I make it so with my side quest style writing, I leave room for people to have ideas and perspectives about the main character, like the true main character. Because all of my characters for the book are side characters. They're expendable people. All of them, right? And I did a couple videos of like examples, turned it into like a part by part series of like, here's how I would write from Hobbit, Orcs in the Shire, up to the big final boss in the end fighting against the main character, right? I've done that. It's like loser, bigger loser, biggest loser, final villain. How the hell are you in my castle right now? Excuse me, I'm dying. I'm so sick. I hope I'm not getting allergic to animals in my old age. That'd be terrible. But anyways, that's just life. So, where was I? Because I digress too much. The way I write books, well, not all my books are written that way, but the way I'm writing this book is the side character perspective that leaves room for audience to assume, guess, and do basically whatever you want, right? Because ultimately I have this world building endeavor I'm undertaking. Golly, dude. My vernacular is terrible. My verbal vernacular is terrible. this world building endeavor I'm undertaking with the writing of the Realm of Millenia series that I'm doing right now is impossibly ridiculous. But I love every second of it. I am so sick. I'm losing my mind. But hey, that's just me, MILLENIANmailmen. Right? And I'll be world building for you. Till whenever. Peace, love, happiness, and all the best of things to you. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel like it. Peace, love, happiness, and all the best of things to you.